Chapter 1: Blogging and Social Media Basic Synopsis. Blogging and social media usage has become especially popular because of the number of users constantly sharing and retrieving information. This information can be done in various styles to suit the material being posted. The basics there are usually sites that use links to encourage a user or visitor, as users are called, to direct them to any other interconnecting social media avenues and blogs. Most people find blogging more personalized and thus are able to dictate the contents according to their own individual preferences. Using the blogging tool usually gives the individual total autonomy over what, when and how much he or she wants to create. When it comes to other tools like social media, although the autonomy freedom is similar, there are some constraints. These may be in the form of responses to a particular hot topic of the time. Though rather exciting and very current indeed, the social media forms may or may not have much legitimate content at all, and just be an exchange of ideas and information which may not be ultimately absolutely accurate. By comparison, some people find blogging to have a certain amount of discipline in terms of time spent, whereas other social media tools sometimes becomes all too time consuming, especially when the individual concerned gets carried away with the online exchanges made. Sometimes, because the exchange of information has to be relevant to the current topics, the social media tools leave little encouragement for the constant introduction of new information at a faster turnover rate. However, it is definitely important to be interesting and engaging in whatever form chosen for the exchange of information through the Internet. Chapter 2: Treat your followers the right way. Synopsis. The success of any social media site is as important as the amount of visitors or traffic it manages to attract. Therefore, some careful thought and effort should be given to ensuring the followers stay happy and as loyal as possible always. Tips below are several ways one can adopt in the quest to keep the said followers. Being an active site is very important. Most visitors would like to view information that is considered new and updated. This shows the commitment of the site owner in creating information that is both relevant and interesting. Keeping the information on the site both interesting and attractive is also another way to keep the followers to the site happy. Taking the trouble to research information will also help to create the level of confidence needed to keep the followers coming back to the site frequently. Being supportive and helpful is also another good attitude to adopt when there are interested queries directed to the site. Directing the visitor to other relevant sites also helps to keep the followers, as they are confident of gaining as much information as possible on a particular topic because of the help extended by the links, thus further ensuring the visitor continues to visit the original site. Always ensure the site is spam-free. Nothing is more off-putting than the visitor having to waste precious time on these annoying items. Most visitors appreciate spam-free sites. Keeping in touch with the followers frequently also helps to keep the relationship in good shape. The followers will feel a level of commitment and interest being displayed which will be well accepted and pleasing. Avoid the social media tool to hard sell. Most followers will already have an interest in a particular site the visit, hence to need to hard sell should be avoided at all cost. Being pushy will only cause the followers to look for other sites that provide similar information. Chapter 3: Portion out your time. Synopsis. Losing track of time when using social media tools is a very common problem indeed. This is a very common problem that almost everyone laments about. However, with a little knowledge and discipline, this can be a manageable problem. Your time. Because of the often distracting elements, most users become so absorbed that they tend to lose track of time. Below are some recommendations that have proven to be useful. Perhaps the first step would be to focus a large percentage of the time allotted to one's own individual site rather than being distracted with visiting too many other sites. Spending time on one's own site would ensure priority is given to creating the relevant content, thus keeping the information posted up to date and interesting. When this is completed, then and only then should the individual spend time on other sites. Even when browsing through other sites, one should try to keep to relevant sites to filter out information that might be useful before venturing into other non-relevant sites. Being distracted or tempted to indulge in social networking during working hours or within the working environment can be quite common and difficult to prohibit. A conscious effort should be made to indulge only when work assigned for the day has been completed. This is a good way to ensure that the individual focuses on the workload and finishes it quickly. If the time spent is not properly portioned out, the quality of the content the individual posts may end up being less than interesting due to the tiredness and loss of concentration from the lengthy time exposed to the screen. While it may be interesting to know the latest information in the various different platforms available, if the said information does not bear direct effect on the individual's interests or income opportunities, apportioning the time spent on this activity would be prudent. Chapter 4. Use social media video to get people to your blog. Synopsis. The use of video has become an important and popular tool for most people posting information on the internet. Perhaps one of the reasons contributing to its popularity is the greater level of attention the visual and audio presentation form is able to garner as compared to the written word campaigns used to promote anything using video. There is definitely a rising trend of opting to use the video form for delivering the relevant information on the social media stage today. The use of video in the social media platform is dictating how information is being communicated. Thus, finding ways to create visually attractive information packages is definitely one of the best ways to encouraging traffic to a site. In the quest to garner as much interest as possible to a site, one would be advised to seek competent video production companies to work with so that good quality video can be designed and made. If this is not possible, another option that can also be equally beneficial would be to make one's own video presentation using a good flip cam. Encouraging previous satisfied customers and best clients to participate or be featured in the video is also another very good element to include. This inclusion would create the necessary confidence needed to make the featured item a success. Getting clients excited about becoming a source for referrals for the items featured is also beneficial, as this is very emotionally stimulating. Today there are a lot of reality-style visual attracting the attention of audiences, which eventually become contributing factors to the success of what is being sold. Therefore, using the video tool to promote one's blog is not only a good idea but will also ensure a healthy number of viewing interests. Keeping the video relevant and exciting will stimulate the viewer into participating where necessary. Chapter 5. Build a community synopsis. The success of any online site depends largely on the amount of visitors it is able to attract. This is where the successful building of a community that is part of the site's success an important and vital feature. There are several ways to go about doing this, and below are just some to consider. Build it. Learning from and studying other successful sites will give the individual an idea of what is needed and relevant to building a strong community. Sometimes a little and trial and error is needed in the exercise to eventually coming up with a site that is both pleasing and attractive, thus creating the interest which will eventually lead to the presence of a strong following or community. Affiliating one's site with other relevant sites is also an advantage in pursuing the building of a community. Having as many links as possible but ensuring these links are of a certain standard and informative for the community is also advised. There must be a common purpose evident in the site to ensure the community's interest. Using the tools that are familiar to the community will also help keep the community interested in visiting the site. Most visitors will not be impressed with tools they are not familiar with. Posting material that is relevant is also the reason the community is built, as the visitors visit the site to view the specific information found at the site. Also, including some comments or ideas of those in the community may be a welcome introduction, as such participation can be deemed respectful. It is also a great way to recognize the members' contributions and loyalty. Encouraging the current members to contribute through referrals also helps to expand the community. This is an especially effective tool to use in order to garner more visitors, as the members of the community can be believable advertisers. Chapter 6. Direct all of this to your blog. Synopsis. Designing and maintaining successful blogs is the intention of all those who set out creating blogs. The success of any blog really depends on the amount of visitors it manages to attract at any given time. Therefore, understanding and applying all the helpful tools and ideas towards this end is worth exploring. A success of it is previously disseminated. There are a variety of tools available on the internet today that can be used to enhance the quality of any blog. Ensuring the relevant tools are chosen and applied will help towards the success of the blog. Including the following will also help: creating a good and interesting first impression by designing a pleasant welcoming page and brief descriptive note of the eventual content is advised. Keeping the tone professional yet friendly and inviting should be considered, as this allows for a non-threatening platform to be established. Having a comfortable amount of posts without overwhelming the visitor is also important. Too few posts may seem lackluster and too many may come off overwhelming. Keeping the links and information posted of the same or similar material or wavelength is prudent in ensuring the visitor is not confused. Make the subscriptions to any links featured easily accessible. There is nothing more frustrating for the visitor trying to access the link only to find it user-unfriendly. Including an email version of the RSS feed could be useful to the visitor. Wrapping up, promote this all vigorously. Always be on the lookout for opportunities to promote. Browsing sites that might give added value to be linked to will prove to be useful to the visitor, thus garnering the future and perhaps even constant visits. Leaving or participating in other blogs by leaving valuable comments or trailers on social sites will encourage interested parties to visit your pages. Being an initiator or a regular contributor to other sites within the niche that is both respected and liked will eventually direct hits to one's own site.